Discipline is not something you're born with. It's something you build. It's forged in the moments when you want to quit, but choose not to. When you talk about staying focused, you're really talking about mastering your mind, because your mind, if left unchecked, will talk you out of greatness every single time. It'll tell you you've done enough when you've barely scratched the surface. It'll whisper, you deserve a break, when your dream still needs more from you. That's why discipline isn't optional, it's essential. Discipline keeps you locked in when your emotions try to pull you out. You have to understand something. Focus fades without discipline. You can have all the motivation in the world, but if you don't train your mind to stay locked in, motivation will disappear the moment life hits you. Discipline means doing what you said you would do long after the feeling of excitement has gone. It's showing up for yourself even when nobody is watching. It's saying no to distractions, no to comfort, no to anything that dilutes your purpose. Most people lose because they let their focus get hijacked by comfort. But if you're serious about unlocking your full potential, you've got to build a mindset that refuses to drift. Every great achiever you know has mastered this. They've trained their mind like an athlete trains their body. When the world says, slow down, discipline says, keep going. When the crowd disappears, discipline becomes your best friend. You've got to talk to yourself every day. Remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself of the pain you'll feel if you stop now. The human mind can either be your strongest weapon or your biggest weakness. It depends on how you train it. Discipline makes sure it's working for you, not against you. When you discipline your mind, you stop letting emotions dictate your progress. You might feel tired, but discipline says, do it anyway. You might feel overwhelmed, but discipline whispers, one step at a time. You might feel like it's impossible, but discipline says, try again. You've got to learn to silence the noise from your fears, your doubts, and your surroundings, because not everyone will understand your grind, and that's okay. You're not doing it for them. You're doing it because your vision is too valuable to lose. Staying focused in a world full of distractions is hard, but it's not impossible. You've got to control what you allow into your space, the conversations you entertain, the content you consume, the people you hang around. They all influence your focus. Discipline means protecting your environment like your dream depends on it, because it does. Don't let laziness or negativity take root in your mind. Replace them with structure, routine, and purpose. Wake up with intention. Move with clarity. Every decision you make should point you back to your goal. Remember, discipline doesn't just build habits, it builds identity. Every time you keep your promise to yourself, you reinforce the belief that you are capable, strong, and worthy. And that belief fuels your focus. When you truly discipline your mind, failure stops being a threat and becomes a lesson. You stop chasing shortcuts because you understand that real success takes time, effort, and consistency. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be persistent. So when you feel your focus slipping, don't panic. Don't get paused. Breathe and remind yourself what's at stake. Ask yourself, why did I start this journey? And what happens if I quit now? Then get back up and refocus. That's how champions think. That's how they win. They don't let distractions control their destiny. They control their focus with discipline. At the end of the day, the dream doesn't belong to the most talented. It belongs to the most disciplined. You might not have all the answers right now, but if you can discipline your mind to stay locked in, to keep pushing, to keep believing, then you're already ahead. Your focus is your greatest weapon. Guard it, train it, master it. Because once your mind is disciplined, there's nothing in this world that can stop you from becoming everything you were meant to be. Excuses are the biggest dream killers. They sound harmless, they sound logical, but they quietly rob you of your potential. Every time you say, I'll start tomorrow, or I don't have time, or it's too hard, you hand over a piece of your future to comfort and fear. Excuses are the stories we tell ourselves to justify staying the same. But if you want to unlock your full potential, you've got to stop negotiating with your limitations. You can't talk about wanting greatness and still cling to excuses that protect mediocrity. The truth is, success doesn't care about your excuses. Life doesn't slow down because you're tired, broke, or uncomfortable. Everyone has a reason why they could quit, but only those who choose to push past those reasons actually make it. If you look at anyone who's achieved greatness, from athletes to entrepreneurs to artists, you'll see one common trait: they stopped making excuses. They took full responsibility for their life, even when it wasn't fair, even when it wasn't easy. They stopped waiting for the right time because they realized the right time never comes. You create it. To eliminate excuses, you first have to face them. Be brutally honest with yourself. What are you using as a shield to protect your comfort? Is it fear of failure, fear of judgment, lack of confidence? Every excuse has a root, and until you face that root, you'll keep repeating the same patterns. You've got to confront the lies you tell yourself, that you're not ready, that you're not smart enough, that you don't have what it takes. Those lies are not truth. They're protection mechanisms built to keep you safe from discomfort. But comfort never changed anyone's life. God lives outside of it. Cutting off what doesn't serve you means creating boundaries that protect your vision. It means saying no. No to negativity. No to people who drain your energy. No to habits that waste your time. You can't expect to stay focused if your environment is full of distractions and toxicity. You have to evaluate who and what is feeding your mind. Are the people around you pushing you forward or holding you back? Are your daily actions aligned with your goals, or are they distractions dressed as rest? Sometimes the hardest part of growth is letting go of people, habits, or mindsets that once felt familiar. But if they no longer serve the person you're becoming, they have to go. When you cut off what doesn't serve you, you create space for what does. You make room for clarity, discipline, and peace. Think about it. Every moment you spend on something that doesn't contribute to your growth is a moment stolen from your purpose. The greats understand this. They guard their energy like it's gold because it is. They know that focus isn't just about attention. It's about direction. You can't move toward your goals if your energy is scattered everywhere else. So you have to learn to say no without guilt and yes with intention. Excuses and distractions often come disguised as comfort. That extra hour of sleep, that mindless scrolling, that one-day attitude, it all adds up. Each small excuse might feel insignificant, but over time, it builds a wall between you and your destiny. Breaking that wall takes courage. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable, to fail, to be misunderstood. Because when you stop making excuses, the only thing left is action. And action is where transformation begins. Understand this. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you your dream. The world rewards action, not intention. Every excuse you drop brings you closer to the person you were meant to become. Every toxic influence you remove from your life sharpens your focus. Every sacrifice you make clears another path toward your goal. You can't afford to hold on to things that drain you when your future is calling you to rise higher. So the next time you catch yourself saying, I can't, replace it with, I will. When you feel like quitting, remind yourself why you started. When fear whispers that it's impossible, remember that the people who win are not the ones without fear. They're the ones who act despite it. You owe it to yourself to stop letting excuses write your story. It's time to take the pen back and write a new one built on accountability, focus, and purpose. When you eliminate excuses and cut off what doesn't serve you, you gain freedom. Freedom from guilt, from stagnation, from self-doubt. You become unstoppable because there's nothing left standing between you and your potential. The road won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, growth over sea comfort, you're not just getting closer to your dream. You're becoming the kind of person who deserves it. And that's where real success begins. Dreams are beautiful, but dreams alone don't build reality. The truth is, you can have the biggest vision in the world, but if you don't show up every single day, that vision will fade into nothing. Consistency is the bridge that carries your dream from imagination to manifestation. It's not the spark that matters. It's the fire that stays burning when the excitement is gone. Too many people start strong, full of motivation, energy, and hope, but they lose steam the moment progress slows. The winners, the achievers, the ones who truly unlock their full potential, they're the ones who show up again and again, no matter what. Consistency is not about perfection. It's about persistence. You won't always feel like working. You won't always see immediate results, but every day you put in the work, you're laying another brick in the foundation of your success. It might look like nothing is changing, but something is. You're changing. You're becoming more focused, more disciplined, more capable. And that's what success is built on: the daily grind, the invisible effort, the quiet commitment when no one is clapping for you. See, the problem is that people want results right now. They want the reward without the routine. But consistency doesn't work like that. It's slow, it's repetitive, it's boring, but it's powerful. Every rep in the gym, every hour spent studying, every moment of practice, it compounds. Small, consistent actions over time create unstoppable momentum. That's how greatness is born, not from one big moment, but from thousands of small ones stacked on top of each other. The truth is, consistency tests your character. It's easy to stay committed when things are going well, but can you stay consistent when no one notices your effort? Can you keep going when you fail? Can you keep showing up when progress feels invisible? That's what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Because consistency requires faith, the faith to keep moving even when you can't yet see the result. You have to train yourself to stop chasing motivation and start building discipline. Motivation fades. It's emotional, temporary, and unreliable. But discipline, that's permanent. It's a mindset that says, I don't need to feel like it. I just need to do it. That's the heart of consistency. It's about showing up regardless of mood, circumstance, or outcome. It's doing the hard thing again and again until it becomes second nature. Think of the people you admire most, the ones who inspire you, who've built legacies, who've changed lives. Every single one of them had moments when they didn't want to keep going, but they did anyway. They pushed through the doubt, the boredom, the fatigue, and every day they got stronger, sharper, more prepared. You can't expect to rise if you're not willing to repeat. The secret isn't in doing more. It's in doing enough times that it becomes who you are. Consistency also builds trust, not with others, but with yourself. Every time you follow through on your commitment, you reinforce a powerful belief. I can rely on me. And once you trust yourself, your confidence becomes unshakable. You stop second guessing and start executing. You stop waiting for perfect conditions and start creating them, because consistency gives you proof. You don't just hope you'll succeed. You know you will because you've put in the work to deserve it. You have to remember that results don't come overnight. There will be days when progress feels painfully slow, when you question whether it's worth it, when you wonder if you're even moving forward at all. But those are the moments that matter most, because every time you choose to keep going, even when it's hard, you're building endurance, you're building resilience. You're building a version of yourself that doesn't quit when life gets tough. Consistency is not glamorous. It's not loud. It's quiet, patient, and relentless. It's waking up early, staying late, practicing when everyone else has gone home. It's failing, adjusting, and trying again. It's about trusting that the process is shaping you into someone capable of handling the success you're chasing. Because success without consistency doesn't last. It crumbles. But when you've built your foundation on steady effort, nothing can shake you. So if you truly want to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be, commit to consistency. Show up every day, not just when it's easy, not just when it's exciting, but when it's hard, when it's uncomfortable, when no one believes in you, because those are the days that define you. Every small step counts. Every action adds up. Keep going, keep grinding, and one day you'll look back and realize that all those little moments of persistence became the very bridge that carried you to your dream. Every person on this planet is born with potential, but potential means nothing without focus. Potential is like raw energy, powerful but useless until it's directed. You can have talent, intelligence, and dreams bigger than the sky. But if your energy is scattered in 100 directions, you'll never see results. Focus is what turns potential into power. It's what transforms ideas into action and ambition into achievement. Without focus, even the strongest desire fades into frustration. But with focus, even ordinary effort can produce extraordinary results. Focus is more than just paying attention. It's commitment with clarity. It's knowing exactly what matters and blocking out everything that doesn't. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they're trying to chase too many things at once. They start something, then get distracted. They jump from one dream to another, one goal to the next, never giving anything enough energy to grow. But success doesn't come from spreading yourself thin. It comes from going deep. It's about putting your full weight behind one mission and refusing to lose sight of it. Think about a magnifying glass. When it spreads sunlight all over the paper, nothing happens. But when it focuses that light to one single point, it burns through. That's what focus does. It concentrates your power. It channels your energy, your time, your effort into one direction until it creates results. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do what matters most over and over again until it breaks through. The problem today is that we live in a world full of noise. Distractions are everywhere. Social media, entertainment, opinions, and endless comparisons keep pulling your attention in every direction. But here's the truth. If you give everything a piece of your focus, you give nothing your full power. You've got to learn to protect your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. Your success, your growth, your peace, they all depend on your ability to stay locked in on what truly matters. When you focus, you gain clarity. You stop reacting to everything and start creating your own direction. You stop wasting time on what doesn't matter. You begin to see progress because your energy is no longer scattered. It's precise. Focus helps you separate the urgent from the important. It reminds you that not everything deserves your attention. You start saying no more often. No to distractions, no to negativity, no to anything that doesn't align with your vision. Every no you say is really a yes to your purpose. Focus also builds momentum. The more time you spend locked in, the stronger your habits become. You start to see small wins, and those wins build confidence. That confidence fuels more effort, and suddenly you're in a rhythm, a powerful cycle where focus creates progress and progress reinforces focus. That's how you move from potential to power. You stop thinking about what could be and start living in what is. But understand this, focus will test you. The moment you decide to commit fully to something, life will throw distractions your way. Opportunities that look good but aren't right for you will appear. People will question your choices. You'll feel the temptation to multitask, to chase shortcuts, to ease the pressure. But that's where discipline comes in. True focus isn't about what you're doing. It's about what you're willing to ignore. You've got to trust your path even when it feels narrow, because that's where growth happens. Sometimes focus requires isolation. It might mean spending less time around people who don't share your vision. It might mean working late nights when others are relaxing. It might mean sacrificing comfort today to earn freedom tomorrow. But if you can stay committed long enough, that sacrifice turns into strength. Your focus becomes your superpower, something no one can distract or derail. The key is to remind yourself daily of your why. Why are you doing this? Why does it matter? When you're clear on your purpose, it's easier to keep your eyes on the goal. Every setback becomes a lesson. Every obstacle becomes motivation. Focus helps you see beyond the moment. It keeps you anchored to the bigger picture. That's why people with vision and focus are unstoppable. They don't get lost in noise because they know exactly where they're going. Potential by itself is just promise, a possibility. But when you combine potential with focus, it becomes power. Something real, something that changes lives. You already have what it takes inside you. The question is, can you stay focused long enough to bring it out? Every time you resist distraction, every time you push through boredom, every time you choose purpose over pleasure, you're converting your potential into progress. So guard your focus, train it, strengthen it, because the world doesn't reward potential, it rewards results. And results come from those who are brave enough to tune out the noise and lock in on their purpose until the vision becomes reality. Focus turns your dreams from something you wish for into something you live for. That's the real power. Everyone wants success until they realize what it costs. Success looks glamorous from the outside, the achievements, the recognition, the lifestyle. But what people don't see are the long nights, the early mornings, the rejections, and the countless sacrifices behind the scenes. Success demands a price, and that price is sacrifice. You can't have comfort and greatness at the same time. One will always require you to let go of the other. If you want to unlock your full potential, you have to be willing to give up the things that hold you back, even when it hurts. Sacrifice is the currency of success. Every dream, every goal, every breakthrough requires payment in time, in effort, in discipline. You can't expect to become the best without giving up something. Maybe it's your comfort zone. Maybe it's your social life. Maybe it's your old habits. Whatever it is, there's always a trade-off. You've got to decide what matters more, temporary comfort or long-term achievement, because one leads to satisfaction and the other leads to regret. The truth is, most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they're unwilling to pay the price. They want the reward, but not the responsibility. They want the destination, but not the journey. They want success to come without discomfort, but that's not how growth works. Growth always comes with pain. You'll have to make choices that others won't understand. You'll have to say no when everyone else says yes. You'll have to stay up when everyone else is asleep. But that's what separates the dreamers from the doers. Every sacrifice you make is a seed planted for your future. The time you invest in studying instead of scrolling, the hours you spend training when you'd rather rest, the opportunities you turn down because they don't align with your purpose. They all add up. Sacrifice doesn't take away. It multiplies. It teaches you discipline, focus, and patience. It builds strength in silence, molding you into someone capable of handling success when it finally arrives. Without those sacrifices, even if success came early, you wouldn't be ready to sustain it. Success isn't about luck. It's about what you're willing to lose to gain something greater. You might have to sacrifice relationships that drain your energy, habits that waste your time, or environments that keep you small. It's never easy, but it's necessary. You can't move to the next level while holding on to what's meant for the last one. Each step higher requires letting go of something that once felt comfortable. That's how elevation works. You also have to understand that sacrifice isn't just about giving up. It's about prioritizing. It's not about depriving yourself, but aligning your actions with your goals. It's asking yourself, is this helping me or holding me back? And having the courage to act on that answer. The people who reach greatness don't necessarily have more talent or resources. They just make tougher choices. They give up short-term pleasure for long-term purpose. They choose growth over comfort, consistency over convenience. There will be moments when sacrifice feels lonely. You'll question if it's worth it. You'll see others enjoying what you gave up. And you'll wonder if you made the right decision. But if you stay the course, if you keep your eyes on the vision, one day you'll understand that every sacrifice was preparation. It was shaping your character, sharpening your mind, and strengthening your resolve. Because real success doesn't just change your situation, it changes you. Look at anyone who's achieved something extraordinary. Athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders, they all share one thing in common: sacrifice. They missed parties. They faced criticism. They endured rejection. They worked when no one was watching. They gave up the ordinary to become extraordinary. That's the truth nobody wants to hear. Success isn't built on what you gain. It's built on what you're willing to give up. When you commit to a vision, the world will test that commitment. Distractions will come. Temptations will appear and shortcuts will present themselves, but you have to stay true to the grind. Every time you choose focus over distraction, progress over procrastination, you're proving you deserve what you're working for. Sacrifice turns dreams into discipline, and discipline turns potential into power. In the end, sacrifice is not a punishment. It's an investment. The nights you spend working, the things you give up, the struggles you face, they all compound into something greater. The pain of sacrifice is temporary, but the reward is permanent. When you finally achieve your dream, you'll look back and realize that everything you gave up was worth it. Because success doesn't come to the most comfortable. It comes to the most committed. So if you truly want to rise, be willing to let go. Let go of fear. Let go of doubt. Let go of everything that's keeping you average. The path to greatness is paved with sacrifice, but it leads to something far more valuable: purpose, fulfillment, and the realization that you gave it everything you had. That's what true success is about. When you decide to stay focused, you're not just chasing a goal. You're reshaping your entire identity. Focus doesn't just help you achieve something external. It changes you from the inside out. It forces you to become more disciplined, more patient, more resilient. Staying focused is not just about reaching a finish line. It's about becoming the kind of person who refuses to give up until they cross it. Every time you choose to stay focused instead of distracted, you're building strength that no one can take from you. Focus is transformation, because when you truly lock in, you start to see life differently. You stop living reactively, chasing every shiny thing, every new idea, and start living intentionally. You begin to move with purpose. The little things that used to derail you, the opinions of others, the temporary failures, the slow progress stop mattering as much. You develop tunnel vision, not because you're ignoring the world, but because you found something worth giving your all to. And that's when everything changes. When you stay focused long enough, success stops being just a goal and becomes your lifestyle. You start creating habits that support your vision. You wake up earlier, plan your days better, use your time wiser. You start speaking differently, thinking differently, acting differently. You begin to separate yourself from the version of you that used to settle for less. The person who used to procrastinate, complain, and make excuses starts to fade away, replaced by someone who takes full responsibility for their future. That's the power of focus. It builds character through consistency. It's not easy to maintain focus in a world designed to steal it. Every day you're surrounded by distractions, messages, noise, negativity. But when you stay focused despite the chaos, you're teaching yourself control. You're saying, my vision matters more than the noise. That mindset turns you into a different kind of person. One who's unstoppable, one who can't be shaken by setbacks or slowed down by doubt. Because the truth is, distractions are not the enemy. Lack of discipline is. And when you master your focus, you master your discipline. Staying focused also reveals your priorities. It forces you to confront what truly matters and what doesn't. You start to realize how much time and energy you used to waste on things that brought you no value. You stop trying to impress people who don't support you. You stop chasing validation. Instead, you invest in growth, in your craft, your goals, your mindset. And the moment you start valuing progress over approval, you experience freedom. You no longer depend on external motivation. You start running on purpose. The transformation that comes from staying focused isn't loud. It's quiet, steady, and powerful. You'll notice it in how you respond to challenges. Instead of panicking, you'll problem solve. Instead of giving up, you'll adapt. Instead of saying, I can't, you'll start asking, how can I? Focus sharpens your mind. It makes you more intentional, more strategic, more effective. You begin to realize that you don't need to rush. You just need to stay consistent, because focus teaches you patience. It reminds you that every small step forward still counts as progress. But focus also humbles you. It teaches you that success isn't about doing everything. It's about doing the right things. You learn to let go of control and trust the process. You understand that setbacks are not signals to quit. They're signs to refine your approach. The more you focus, the more you start seeing challenges as opportunities to grow. That's when you stop being driven by emotion and start being driven by vision. Focus doesn't just make you successful. It makes you strong. It molds your mindset into one that can handle pressure, rejection, and uncertainty. Because when you've trained yourself to stay committed, even in chaos, nothing can break you. That's the transformation most people never experience. The internal strength that comes from staying true to your purpose no matter what. And once you reach that level of mental toughness, success becomes inevitable. Think about it. Every time you stay focused when others quit, you're widening the gap between who you are and who you used to be. You're rewriting your story, one decision at a time. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the author of your destiny. Focus gives you that power. It reminds you that your dreams are not too big. Your discipline just needs to catch up. In the end, staying focused doesn't just help you reach your goals. It helps you become someone new, someone who's confident in their path, someone who doesn't fold under pressure, someone who inspires others by example. Because true success is never just about the outcome. It's about the evolution. It's about who you become while chasing the dream. So keep your eyes on the goal. Keep your heart in the fight. Keep your focus sharp. Because when you stay focused, you don't just achieve success. You transform into the person who was always capable of creating it.